I'm a big proponent of simple equals better. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down a Shopify store that exemplifies this concept in such a beautiful way that it's made it one of my favorite Shopify stores right now. So as you see here, I'm talking about none other than Fear of God. If you don't know about this brand, it's a designer apparel brand that has basically been around for a decent amount of time and has taken the world by storm. So if we browse down on their website just a little bit, we can see some of the clothes that they have. So they've actually done something very smart. This is their original collection that they had. So if we click Fear of God, this is like their very expensive designer products. So as you see, $3,000, $2,590 for like a hoodie. So very expensive products, right? Now they've diversified into athletics as well though. So as you see, this is coming soon. So this is actually the designer behind Fear of God. His name's Arie Lorenzo, and he's actually part of the crew that used to design for Kanye West with Virgil Abloh, Matthew Williams. I've studied all these people because for a long time I was very into design, and this is stuff that now I'm taking to Academy, which is my creative agency. But yeah, I've actually been fascinated by a lot of these designers for a long time. So it's cool to see that this is actually a Shopify store. I actually didn't ever really think about the fact that Fear of God was a Shopify store. So it's been really cool to see that. But then the third section that they divided into is essentials. So this is their more affordable clothing. Now it's still super high quality actually. One of my favorite shirts that I own is a Fear of God Essentials shirt, but it's still pretty expensive. Like it's $80, $90, even, more than that for some of these clothing items. But as you see, a lot of them are just completely sold out. So people go crazy over these clothes. Now they're getting into the slide game, which is pretty cool. These look kind of cool actually. But let me show you just how much traffic they're driving. So every month, as you see, they're getting more and more traffic to the website. And they're getting basically 1 million monthly visitors right now, which at this average order value has to be at least 1 million to 2 million, even up to $3 million per month in revenue. I actually did look up a little bit of the stats behind it, and people estimate 5 to 25 million of yearly revenue with only 10 to 15 employees. So that's pretty awesome. This is goals in my opinion. Like I would love to get my business to this level and only have like 20 employees. That would just be insane. And then what I also find super cool about this store is like what I mentioned at the beginning, which is the simplicity behind it. Like you don't see any crazy things going on the website. In fact, it's surprisingly simple, even down to their font selection. The font pairing is kind of interesting, right? Because it's not your traditional font. It actually doesn't even match the logo, but it does pair well. So obviously they've hired designers to come in and brand this beautifully. That's my guess at least. But Arie Lorenzo is a pretty prolific designer as well. So obviously you can see his touch in every single piece here. But I just fell in love with this website when I landed on it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Now, one thing that's really cool is in the bottom here, when you click social, a lot of brands at the bottom of their store have all their social links, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everything. When you click this, it just takes you to their Instagram, which actually makes so much sense if you think about it. They really want to concentrate their social presence on Instagram. And that's actually not a bad move because Instagram is sort of the place for fashion. That's really where you go to look at beautiful things, to look at fashionable people and stuff like that. So it actually makes sense that they would do this. However, what I see that's also really cool is that they're taking advantage of short form content. So they're posting a lot of reels and still branding them with this simple, clean, minimalist aesthetic that they have. So if we take a look at this, we can see that they're using just their normal video campaign. This isn't even Instagram story format, yet they still posted it as a reel. So very smart. They're not really overthinking it at all. They're really just focusing in on the content and brand image. If we take a look at some of their other videos though, they do actually, no, they don't. They don't do a lot of, Instagram story format. They're literally just reposting their normal video content that probably is being posted on YouTube as well. But I'm not exactly sure. If they're not posting on YouTube, I definitely think that would be an incredible place for them because YouTube, similar to Instagram, is a great place to nurture a community of any kind, even fashion. And same with TikTok nowadays. So personally, I think they should not neglect any of those social platforms and maybe even start posting this stuff on Pinterest and stuff as well. And that's going to be a good way to continue to grow for Fear of God. Honestly, I would love to work with this brand. I'm super inspired by this kind of design. Now, the last thing I want to mention here as far as their paid media strategy is that they're not really doing much paid media on Meta, which personally I think they should do, especially considering that they have such an established aesthetic. You could definitely push that across retargeting ads, even if it's just light. Because as you see here, we can see through SimilarWeb that their traffic distribution is split between 93% organic and nearly 7% paid. So they could continue that same ratio across every social media page and see a lot of growth. So one thing, for example, here is that they're ranking for all these top keywords. So they have over 900 keywords that they're ranking for. So that's SEO. But like it says here, it's also Google Ads. And Google Ads are extremely powerful. It's one of my favorite ad platforms, to be honest with you. As you see, for example, with this client that we're working with, in the last 30 days, we've only spent about 4K and have brought in nearly 100K in monthly revenue. So 84K, that's a 22x return on ad spend. You don't see that anywhere else, to be honest with you, but Google. But it makes Google even more powerful whenever you're funneling in some other paid traffic from other media sources like Meta and TikTok, as I just mentioned. So when you put that trifecta together, which is what we try to do at Akemi, you get some really beautiful growth that is super sustainable whenever as a brand you're doing all these other things like they're doing, like nurturing a community, creating a recognizable brand aesthetic, and obviously focusing on making the best possible products that you can. But with that said, I want to know what you think. Did you already know about this brand? Or let me know if you have other brands you want me to review or anything like that. I would definitely appreciate that. If you enjoyed this video, obviously make sure you subscribe for more and turn on notifications so you can tune into our streams. But that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.